2-story condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views.
Hey guys, Mark the Mentor here, back with another video. All right, this video we're going to be talking about cargo vans, and I'm going to profile a company called Lasership. And this is a company that I think you can scale with if you're looking to get into the cargo van delivery business. All right, so there's a lot of pros and then there's some cons, just like any business when you're dealing with a cargo van. But it can be a lucrative business, and it's easier to scale than it is with a truck. All right, so I ran local routes, cargo van routes, but majority of the time when I ran cargo van routes, I provided a truck because I just had more trucks, than I have vans. All right, at that time, I no longer own vans. The reason why I got out of vans is because when an account is up or when the account dissolves, for whatever reason, it's always hard to transition a van into another account. It's easy to transition a truck. All right, so I no longer deal with vans, but if you're looking to wholeheartedly be invested or vested into the van work, then this is an account that you can scale. I did a video yesterday with Watco and Staples. That's another account that's scalable with a van. But Lasership is a company that is majority van work, and it's scalable, and they promote scalability. All right, so let's talk about the pros and the cons of van work, and then we'll go ahead and profile this company. I'll show you how to get set up, how to sign up, and then we'll talk about earning potential. All right, so some of the pros of running a cargo van is one, low startup. All right, low startup, everything involved around a van is cheaper than obviously a truck. All right, so low startup cost. Obviously a van is a lot cheaper than a truck. All right, another issue is this is mostly local work. All right, so if you're looking to do this type of job, cargo van work for Lasership, then you can get an intrastate DOT. You don't have to get an interstate. All right, if you live in a big city, urban area, then you know that the truck will probably be doing 50, 60, 70 mile radius. All right, so no need to get an interstate DOT. You'll save a lot of money with getting an intrastate DOT because you're doing local courier work. All right, so low startup, local, no ELD. Once again, local. You're not going over the road, so no ELD is needed. What else? Fuel. It's gasoline. All right, so your fuel, your MPG is going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot cheaper to fuel a van up, obviously, than a truck. All right, cheaper insurance. You're going to have cheaper insurance. Why? Because the van insurance is going to be cheaper than a truck. Interstate DOT, which brings it down even more. Just a plethora of other things, obviously, that you guys probably can piece together, obviously, why insurance would be cheaper than a truck. And then, like I said, the equipment is cheaper. This account is mostly boxes, small boxes and packages. So, I mean, you can have a dolly, but most of the pieces that you're going to be delivering are probably 1 to 2 pieces on average. All right, to each household. Now that varies. Obviously, there can be more, but equipment is limited when you're running courier work, obviously, because most of the time when you're running courier work, there's no room in the back of the van for like excess equipment. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, most of the van work that I've come across in my years of experience, normally for van work, most stops are just a couple of pieces. So stuff that you can carry in your hand. Vans that I recommend for courier work, number 1 would be a Sprinter van. All right. Number 2 would be a Ford Transit. I like the Ford Transit 3500. That's my first choice with the double wheelbase, high roof. Or you can get a 2500. I always recommend the high roof because that extra space always comes in handy. And then my third choice, which is the vans that when I was purchasing vans, which were the vans that I would get, would be the Chevy 2500 Extended Express, not the short body, the extended. Now, as the Chevy Express has not been my first priority van when I was purchasing them, I just personally got a great deal because I had purchased quite a few vehicles from this particular Chevy dealership, so I knew I could get a great deal on a cargo van, even though I wanted a Transit 3500 at the time. A 3500 standard double wheelbase at that time when I was shopping for vans was $33,000 brand new out the door. I ended up getting an Express 2500 EXT, the long one, 2500 for $28,000. Obviously, like I said, because I had purchased a brand new 16-foot truck from this dealership, and I had purchased a few vehicles, some Camaros and things of that nature from this dealership back in 2012. I had bought a few cars from him, sports cars. So the sales guy, he would look out for me on the commercial things that I bought. So that's why I went with a 2500, but that wouldn't be my first choice. The first choice I gave you would be the Sprinter, then the Ford Transit high roof, and then the Chevy Express would be my third option. All right, so let's talk about some cons. All right, cons: lower pay. All right, you're going to get paid lower than in van accounts than you would if you were dealing with a truck account. Obviously, which will take us to our next con, which is lower capacity, less capacity. You have a smaller capacity of space that you can haul things with. Vans are a lot smaller than trucks. So if you deal with, like I said, the Sprinter, the high roof Sprinter, or a Ford Transit 2500 or 3500 high roof, obviously you get more capacity than, let's say, a Ford Transit 150 or 25, or a Ford 150 or a Ford E250, the regular base without the high roof. Obviously, that extra high roof, you can stack things a little bit higher. And then obviously the Chevy Express, they don't make it in a high roof model for cargo. That's why I recommend the EXT, the extended version, because you get that extra length where you can put more things in. But still, it's less capacity than a 16-footer or a 17-footer or a 26, 24-footer. All right, so you're limited to what you can carry due to that smaller capacity of space. And then that leads us into the next con, which is fewer opportunities. Obviously, due to space, there's certain things you just won't be able to accept, certain accounts you won't be able to accept, some furniture accounts, some appliance accounts, obviously, because you just can't fit them. Yeah, you can fit a washer and dryer in there, but that's probably about it. Maybe two sets of washers and dryers, maybe two dressers, a couple mattresses. That's not going to suffice when you're looking to get a final amount account. They're going to want to put stops. All right, at least 10 stops in a truck. All right, most final mile companies that run furniture and appliances, their minimum requirement usually is about 10 to 11 stops. When you're coming in new and fresh, before they really stack a lot of stops on you, they run you that first week about 10 or 11 stops to get your feet wet and see how you do. And then as you get better and better and better, and your time picks up, then they start putting more stops on you. So you're going to get less opportunities, obviously, with a cargo van because the space is limited. So let's take a look at Lasership and let's profile them, look at their website, show you guys how to get set up, and then we'll look at some markets. All right, so let's take a look at this company, Lasership. Recently, Lasership and OnTrack merged. I haven't really looked into if Lasership, I think Lasership might have bought OnTrack, but they're promoting it as they merged. All right, so basically what you want to do once you get here, you want to go up here to deliver packages. All right, and let's just go through this. Independent package delivery drivers needed. Want to be your own boss, use your own vehicle or vehicles to provide delivery service. So they are promoting scalability when they use the word vehicles in plural. All right, so let's see. Why contract with Lasership? As a quickly growing enterprise covering 22 states and Washington, D.C., our customers have millions of packages to deliver. If you're a professional driver with your own vehicle or someone who wants to start or grow an independent business in a high demand market, Lasership has exciting opportunities for you. All right. Let's see. So basically what you want to do is click here, start growing your business. And like always, the form that they want you to fill out to apply is always a generic basic form for Final Mile. Every company I profile, if you notice, always has a generic basic form for you to fill out. So you just fill this form out, hit submit, but I am going to provide you a phone number that you can call once you submit this to kind of speed up that onboarding process. You always want to go, once you do this, you always want to go over and check Indeed. All right. Everybody uses Indeed. All right. Everybody, most companies use Indeed. All right. And when you go over there, they're going to show you some markets that they are hiring in. All right. So Ann Arbor, Michigan, Ashland, Kentucky, Ohio. That's not for, these are for warehouse workers, but this is for contractors, these two right here. So let's look at this one. They are hiring across the country though. All right. So if you scroll down here, here's a number that you can call. All right. Here's a number that you can call. So it's pretty much that simple. And now what I want to do is I want to talk about earning potential. All right, let's talk about earning potential for a cargo van. All right, so like I said earlier in the video, obviously earning, or let's say pay for a cargo van, obviously it will be less than a truck. So for this account, and this is averaging, they're marketing it for about $75K a year. All right, so that's $75K per route. So you got a van, you start with one van that averages about, on a 5-day work week, I think this account can run 6-7 days, but let's say on a 5-day work week, that's about $300 a day. All right, because I'm taking 75, dividing it by 52 weeks, which brings me a little bit under 1,500. So let's just round it to 1,500 a week, which would average out to about $300 a day. All right. Now you're looking at, like, okay, let's say $300 a day. Oh, $300 a day. Let me tell you how you work a van. All right. And this is how I did Office Depot and Staples when I was running it. All right. I was getting a guarantee of 300. I was running 9 vehicles. All right. For Office Depot. All right. Which is a account similar to this, at $300 a day. All right. And I averaged everything, or I paid everything in a third. So $300 a day, right? Guaranteed to the driver 100. The truck gets 100, even if it doesn't burn 100 in fuel. All right. I always put 100 for the truck. All right. And then 100 to the company. All right. So 33. All right. And that's how I did it. So the driver got a third, the truck a third, right, for fuel, and then whatever the extra is from the fuel, that would just go into the pot, obviously, for maintenance and things later. All right, and then the third to the company. All right, so with this account, that's how I would do it, and I wouldn't get into something like this if I didn't have plans to scale. This is something that you want to get into, learn it, and this is something you definitely want to scale. In order to see money with an account like this, you got to scale it. All right, like I always say, in this business, margins are very small. This is not a business that you get rich in with 1 truck or 2 trucks, all right, or 3 trucks. All right, you can start seeing gross in $1 million with 4 or 5 trucks in a specific lane, but it's not the courier lane, and it's not the middle mile lane. All right, you can get there quicker in Final Mile, obviously, because the earning potential is a lot greater, but it's a lot more work involved. When you're dealing with accounts like this, you got to scale them. All right, You know, a lot of people come to me and they have these astronomical numbers in their head, and I don't know where people are getting these numbers from, but trucking is an industry where it's a low margin. Most businesses have low margins. All right. The rule of thumb is 30%. All right. The rule of thumb for a business is 30%. All right. And that's on the high end for majority businesses. All right. The average for a trucking business is about 6%. All right. I've always operated on about 20%. All right. I've always operated on 20%. I can stick on that 20%. All right. A lot of people don't get to 20%. All right. You got to really be hands on and do a lot of things yourself. You know, some things where you would send a truck or a van to the shop for, if you know how to do it yourself, do it yourself. That's how you save money in the long run. All right. So I wouldn't take this on if I wasn't going to scale. $300, $100 just isn't enough. All right. This is something you got to build. All right. Obviously, the more vehicles you build, the more money you make. All right. So me running Office Depot at 9 vehicles, right? That's 2,700, and I was taking home 900. All right. To the company, 900 a day, right? That's 4,500 a week for that account, right? Which is good money because that's just one account. All right. I have more accounts. All right. So that's how you have to look at an account like this. You have to run it with volume in mind. All right. Because margins are very, very, very small, guys. You got to get that out of your head where you think you're going to run on 80, 90, 70%. That's not even realistic. This is really not even realistic. If you got an account and let's say you're averaging middle mile $1,000 a day, how much fuel do you think you spent on a run that's paying $1,000? All right, seriously, you know what I'm saying? So like you gotta kind of keep this in mind, and then when you look at things like this, you don't look at it just, oh well, that's only paying. No, you gotta look at it for scalability. So once again, this is something that if I wouldn't do personally, I wouldn't get into this personally myself if I didn't have plans on scaling it. This is something that in order to see money, you're going to have to scale. All right. So that's my tip, my advice. I'm never going to sell you pipe dreams, and I'm going to always keep it real with you. And I'm going to always give you factual information based on experience. All right. So hit that notification button, hit that like button, and I'm out.
Como, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about, oh shit.